Well, what a game week to have a social media blackout. Hello there, hope you're having a great Thursday. What is up, guys, and welcome to the FPL Today Team Selection video for Game Week 35, which is a double game week, so we have plenty of things to talk about, and we've got less time to do it because I've been waiting to see what happened with that Man United game. And as of recording this, we still don't know exactly where that postponed game, Man United versus Liverpool, will get put, but we will talk about options and considerations as we get into this video. So if you've been waiting for this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for FPL. Let me know if you're excited for the double game week in Game Week 35, and let's get on with the video. So we start things off by, of course, looking how I did in Game Week 34, and it was a tough game week for a lot of people. Now for me, I didn't actually have 11 people playing because we had a lot of players in that Man United-Liverpool game, and we also had a few other players that didn't feature. But the players that did return something for me and made sure my game week wasn't a complete mess was Mendy in goal for Chelsea, who managed to keep a clean sheet. Veltman also keeping a clean sheet with Brighton. Son, of course, doing really well in that game for Tottenham Hotspurs. But, of course, Harry Kane was my captain, so swings and roundabouts. But it's a good thing we had Son, because without him, the game week score would have looked a lot weaker. And then, of course, Iheanacho as well, who just seems to keep scoring points no matter who he's against and no matter what the situation. So we're thankful for that assist from Iheanacho. We then move on to the other players that actually played, so did contribute to the points. That included Alioski and Loughton, who didn't really do that great. Alioski, of course, only managing to play 45 minutes before getting substituted off, and Loughton getting the 90 minutes but not getting a clean sheet in his fixture. We also had Lingard, who did play but didn't manage to get anything in the West Ham game, only having one shot on goal and one key pass in the entire game. And then, of course, Davis came off the bench for a 1-minute cameo, but it's 1 point, so I can't complain again. And Harry Kane, who was my captain, despite getting 6 shots, 4 from inside the box, only had 1 shot on target, which was a big chance, but he didn't convert it, and 2 key passes, but no big chances created. It's not the best performance from Harry Kane, but we'll talk about whether we're going to keep Kane to the end of the season or not later on in this video. Then finally, we have, of course, the players that didn't feature at all. Jota and Salah not getting any appearance points because, of course, the postponement, along with the likes of Fernandes and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then, of course, Forster didn't start and Rudiger had that injury, so we only actually played with 9 men in this game week. But fortunately for me, it wasn't too bad as we did manage to get 39 points, which was pretty much the average, which means our overall points are now at 2,108, and our overall rank only drops by 2k to 133,894. So all things considered, it wasn't the worst game week, and at least we didn't really drop in rank significantly. Now, usually we do talk about the players at risk, but because it's a double game week, there is a big chance that I do take out 2 or 3 players. I did carry a transfer over from last week, so 2 transfers is very, very likely. And we are going to be looking at certain players to come in, 4 players that potentially blank in at Game Week 36. Now, Man United were going to be one of those teams. However, with the postponement, it looks like Man United will play in Game Week 36. And Liverpool should have a double in Game Week 35 or 36, which of course makes their players a lot more appealing now. But we'll talk about how the team looks before we've made any transfers. We are looking at Mendy in goal, who has Man City away and Arsenal at home. Now, Man City, of course, have been amazing recently, have, of course, just put their place into Champions League final, so who knows what will happen in that. However, you may see a rested side against Chelsea, so maybe Chelsea can get something out of this, and hopefully Mendy, if he doesn't get a clean sheet, gets some save points to go on top of the Arsenal fixture, which is the one we're probably hoping for a clean sheet in. We also have Trent, Loughton and Veltman in defence at the moment, none of which have a double game week, although there is the possibility of Trent having that double game week. Although the fact that it's not announced when I'm recording this means I think double game week for Liverpool will be in 36. But Trent, good fixture against Southampton, and Loughton and Veltman against 2 sides that haven't exactly been scoring freely. We then look at the midfield, and we have the 5-man midfield of Son against Leeds, Jota and Salah against Southampton at home, with again the possibility of a double game week. Fernandes with Aston Villa away and Leicester at home, and then Lingard with Everton at home. Only one double game week midfielder at the moment. However, we are probably going to put the captaincy armband on Fernandes unless something does pop up. I am slightly concerned that potentially a game could be postponed again, depending on what happens at Manchester when they have that home game against Leicester, however. And then up front we have Kane, again another single game week player with Leeds away, and Iheanacho with Newcastle at home and Manchester United away. And Iheanacho is a consideration for my captaincy because of the Newcastle fixture. And to be honest, Leicester could get something from the Man United game. Looking at the bench, we also have a goalkeeper in Forster who has Liverpool and Crystal Palace. I've heard rumours that it's been discussed by the Southampton manager that Forster could play in these fixtures, or at least one of them. Rudiger, again, coming back from an injury, hopefully will feature in game 35, and then he would be likely consideration to come into the side over Loughton and Veltman, although possibly bench boost is applicable for me in this game week. And then we have Davis, Man United and Everton, both at home. However, it's unlikely that he is going to start in those fixtures. And finally, Alioski, who does have Spurs at home. So what we could do here is look to bring in some double game week players, the likes of Manchester United players especially because they do now not have a blank, and the likes of Everton who do look appealing to me. We actually don't have many players that are blanking now in game week 36 compared to what I thought could be the case with Fernandes potentially blanking. We only have Rudiger and Mendy who will blank in game week 36, as well as Iheanacho. So those three are the players that could go, and Iheanacho with that double game week is unlikely. So we could have a look at the likes of Mendy and Rudiger changing to those Everton and Man United assets. Also, if we are going to consider using the bench boost, I would like to change Davis. Forster and Alioski also aren't ideal for a bench boost team. So we move on to game week 35 possible transfers, and usually we would do the graphics with just 4 players, but we're considering more than 4 players in this game week. So we have taken this from the Fantasy Football Hub's Optus Stats tables, and these are the players that we are looking at. We have the likes of the Man United options in Greenwood and Shaw, and the Everton options in Richarlison, Digne, Holgate, Rodriguez, and Calvert-Lewin. All of those are very high possibilities to come into my FPL side for this double game week. We have also included Crystal Palace with Guaita, Benteke and Zaha, although I'm less likely to bring those players in just because I feel like Crystal Palace haven't been that great recently. If we look at expected points, we can see that Greenwood has got the highest expected points over the last 6 game weeks, and that is also including the fact that he's only had 4 appearances. He's managed 28.9 expected points and returned 35, showing how clinical he can be in front of goal. Expected points for Richarlison is incredibly high, but he's the opposite of Greenwood, only getting 13 points from expected points of 26.3. And Digne has got 21 points from an expected points of 24.6. Holgate is the final one to have over 20 points expected in the last 6 game weeks, with 20.6, but only returning 14. Other players that outperform their expected points are James Rodriguez getting 23 points when he's expected 19.5. And that is pretty much it for the players that have outdone their expected points. So going back to my team, we're really looking to bring in the likes of potentially Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin for Davis, but that would mean saving some significant money elsewhere. Holgate is an easy transfer in for my cheap budget defence, where Trent is really the only one of any value, and now that he has a double game week, I'm unlikely to transfer him out. We could try and save some money on Mendy and get a player in that doesn't blank in game week 36, because with Forster as my bench option, I'm not too sure of his actual playing time, so another keeper coming in that does actually play in game week 36 is likely. Pickford would be a good option with Everton. Again, we could look at Guaita as well if we're trying to save money. However, Guaita isn't exactly filling me with excitement, and I'm definitely leaning more towards Pickford if I was going to go with that strategy. That might mean that I don't look at Digne and, of course, Holgate. Seamus Coleman also in consideration. And with that money, potentially we could upgrade someone like Shota to a Greenwood, or maybe even look at upgrading a defender to the likes of Luke Shaw, However, I don't think any of my defenders are close enough in price for me to really get anyone in, apart from maybe Lindelof. Anyway, guys, hopefully that has given you an insight into what I'm thinking going into Game Week 35. Let me know in the comments down below what you're planning for Game Week 35, as well as hitting that like button, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell for FPL. Your support is what makes this channel work. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.